Hello, 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 and welcome to this English edition of the C2 ITSM webinar for the month of October. We are very pleased to have you with us today. This is the first edition that we do this webinar in English, but we've been doing these monthly to quarterly webinars on the regular on our French community. So if this is our first time joining us, I'm very happy to see you all here today. My name is Maude. I'm in charge of marketing for C2 ITSM, and I will be welcoming you to this wonderful webinar today. So with me today in the team, you will meet Eric, Martin, and Rima, and they will each talk to you about the different ways that you can enhance your service desk. A quick little intro about C2 ITSM if you haven't met us before. We are an IT service management that empower you to do your IT your way by managing your services and connecting to your different assets, gaining visibility and speed in one platform. So a little bit more on the content of today's webinar. So we will be talking about different ways that you can empower your service desk. We will introduce you to what we mean by service desk inside of C2 ITSM and just as a level set for everyone. Then we'll move into different types of alerts and being proactive about incidents and problem management, SLA optimization, self-service portals, and then we'll go through best practices. You'll be able to leave today's webinar with a few tips to be able to improve your performance, improve your customer engagement, and your customer service. So we're very excited to have everyone here today. I will be already passing the speech to one of my colleagues in just a minute. Rima will be joining me and talking to you all about Service Desk.
Okay, thank you so much, Maud. Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Okay, so we'll start by explaining what an ITSM service desk is. So, put simply, an ITSM service desk is an agreement between two parties. So, on one side, we have an end user who needs support with a service or product. And on the other side, we have a team of experts, of IT experts working to answer their needs. It allows you to build a tailored service catalog to better manage, organize, and prioritize your clients' requests, aligning with your own business objectives. Now, why is it essential to your organization's performance? It represents the single point of contact between users and IT departments. And this is where the IT team can deliver solutions that meet users' needs, and it allows them to resolve incidents and provide quality service and support. The mission of an ITSM service desk is to deliver timely solutions to end users, to maintain service availability, to improve the efficiency of operation, and last but not least, it's to make sure that we provide an optimal client experience. How ITSM can improve the performance of your services. First of all, let's talk about ITSM process optimization. When you bring automations into your C2, it really simplifies your workflows and tasks, making everything run a lot smoother. And when we talk about processes, when we talk about ITSM, we always talk about ITIL. So following ITIL guidelines when implementing your processes will improve service quality and enhance the overall business performance. Continuous improvement. So in ITSM, we want to make sure we're always improving the efficiency of our operations. And we have different tools to help us with this. We have SLAs. So my colleague is going to talk a little bit more about SLAs. And we also have dashboards through internal and external reporting tools. They play a key role in continuous improvement because it gives you an overview of your service performance and you can adjust your processes. Direct impact on users. So how does an ITSM service desk drive customer satisfaction? Well, we spend less time responding to requests because we have automations in place and we have an organized service catalog, and it allows for a better follow-up because information is centralized in the same tool. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about proactive management of incidents and automatic alerts. Okay, identifying and managing potential problems before they even occur is an essential part of a successful ITSM Service Desk. The idea here is to anticipate and resolve issues before they become critical, minimizing the impact on end users and on the organization's operations. Now, how can C2 facilitate proactive management? We can connect C2 with external monitoring systems to watch your CPU usage, your servers, etc. Or we can create automated alerts that can be escalated for a quick intervention. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about automatic alerts. The purpose, like I said, is to take action as soon as an incident is detected. How is an incident detected? We have different ways. It can be a user who identifies an issue and submit a critical ticket. It can be a user calling by phone the support team, and the support team creates the ticket. It can be a ticket created through a process as a response to a certain trigger, or it can be an alert from an external monitoring tool that can create a ticket in C2. In that case, we can use an API call or an email to trigger a ticket creation. Now let's talk about some practical examples of alerts. So like I said previously, we can connect C2 to different external networking monitoring tools that can watch your CPU, your disk space, etc. Here, let's focus on an example that we can implement within C2. Okay, so say you have a service contract configuration item in your CMDB, and this item has an expiration date. So we can create a process that would monitor this date, and when the expiration date is reached, it will trigger the creation of a new ticket to remind a resource or a group to renew the contract, the service contract. And we can use the same principle to create preventive maintenance for any item of your CMDB. This type of alert will help minimize service interruption and decrease equipment failure.
Thank you, Rima, for this section. Now we will move over Eric, who will talk to us about service level agreement.
Yes. So, hello everybody. So let's talk a bit about the SLAs, the service level agreements. First, I want to mention that in our knowledge base, you can find a guide, an SLA guide that we've created not long ago about SLA. So if you have access, you can go and take a look there. So what are SLAs? So SLA is basically it's a commitment that you have, a contract that you have between you and your client, provide a certain level of services for your client. So it can talk about the what can be included in the agreement is the uptime, response time, the how long you take to resolve issues. It can also include some limitation on what you can provide for as a service, and things similar to that. The client can be internal or external. So when we talk about internal clients, it's technical teams inside your organizations. It can be outer departments. So if you are IT, you can provide services to HR, to human resources, and you may have in place SLA with them to the level, to what kind of service you offer and what kind of service level you offer. External clients are like your paying customers that are consuming your services. So it's important for them to have a clear agreement with them. The SLAs define measurable goals that you have to achieve to provide the service, to make sure it's up in time and that the service is properly provided. And it also serves as providing clear expectations to the client, to what kind of service you are offering and what's your limitation. Basically, it ensures that the service that you're providing meets the business needs of the client. The goal of an SLA is to offer the level of service required by these clients. It also allows you to know what you need to have in order to offer this level of service. To follow up your SLAs, you will be using key indicators and metrics. This will allow you to see how you are offering the service, and using reports, dashboard, and client feedback, you'll be able to correct any issue that can ensure with the SLA, and make sure that the SLA correspond to the need of the client and your own possibilities to offer that service. SLA needs to be customized to the client needs. So how do you set that up? Okay, so first thing you need to know, what are your client requirements? What do they expect? What do they need? What's the uptime? What's the delay they expect to have when you're resolving issues? What's your own capabilities to offer that kind of service? So how many people do you need? What are your resources, your infrastructure? What's the cost of offering that level of service? The client can ask for a high level of service, but the cost associated with it may increase. And so you have to sell your service according to that capacity for the client. And you could also offer a level of service during the working hours. So that's 99% uptime. And off a working hour, you can lower that expectation because that's when you will do maintenance and upgrades. You have to think about how you will be monitoring your SLA. How will you follow your SLA? So what you put in your SLA, it needs to be it needs to be monitored. It needs to be achievable to monitor those expectations. And how often will you review the agreement and the service level with the client? Okay, will you do that monthly? Will you do that once a year? And that's quite important. So it's crucial to tailor your SLA to each particular situation and to ensure that they meet the specific needs of all parties involved. And by customizing the SLA, you ensure that the performance expectation and goals are clearly defined. You need to keep your SLA effective and relevant, because that way it will keep it achievable. Setting unrealistic goals in your SLA will lead to frustration and some unnecessary pressure on your service desk. So you have to really talk with your client and make sure that what you put in the SLA is useful with them. So we recommend also a regular review of the SLAs. This is to adjust the goal, to make changes based on technological changes, and to meet the new customer expectation or varying business needs. When you review your SLAs and set those up, it's important to involve the various stakeholders. There's the client, but there's also the technical teams and business teams inside your organization that are also participating in providing the service or maintaining the infrastructure of that service. They need to be there. And your own providers are also important, because your service that you're offering, you have a provider maybe providing some services for that. So some devices, some uptime. So you have SLAs with your client, but you also have SLAs with your own providers, and these all go into, they all needs to be taken into account. Okay, so the SLA is based on what you have to offer. The different part of the SLAs, the SLA itself, the service level agreement, that's the agreement that you share with the customer. That's what is written down and define what's expected, what the client expect for your service level. The service level objective, these, as it says, it's the objective. It's what you need to achieve to meet your SLA. So the uptime, you want to expect how many tickets you will, how fast you will answer tickets, etc. And the indicators is what you will be able to measure, and it's what tells you that you are meeting the objective of the SLO and the SLA. So SLA, they are used to formalize promises made to the customers. That is what's shared with the customer. The SLO and the SLIs, so the objective and the indicators, they are internal tools for measuring and improving your service performance. They are usually not shared with the client. They are kept for you internally. Exceptional events can occur that may prevent full compliance with your SLA. This leads to adjustment of the SLA. By major event, we are thinking about outages and things like this. And what you need to do in this case is communicate with your client to agree on new delays, new terms and corrective measures. But you can also have that already built into your SLA in your agreement, how you will react with major events, with exceptional events that will prevent from offering the regular service. So as I said, service level objective and service level indicator will allow your teams to closely monitor the quality of service provided and take corrective action when needed, ensuring a reliable and high quality service delivery overall. And by using these concepts appropriately and adapting them to the specific needs of each organization and clients, it will be possible to ensure that service meets the needs and expectation of your users, even in exceptional situation. Now, in C2 ITSM, how do we work with SLAs? So first of all, in C2 ITSM, you will, for each of the 5 base priorities for tickets, you will select a response and a resolution delay. This can be set in minutes, in hours, or days. So a P1 can be, in this example, 60 minutes for a response, and under 20 minutes, 2 hours for a resolution delay. And you do that for each priorities. And then for each ticket type, like incidents, service requests, and the likes, you will configure a table with an impact and an urgency that will select a proper priority. So if the error is, if the ticket is an incident and it impacts one department and they cannot work, it can be classified as a P3. If it impacts the whole organization and they cannot work, it will become a P1. So you will set the proper priorities based on those impact and urgency that you can customize for your needs. And so on the ticket, when you receive a ticket, you select the impact, the priority, and you will select the impact and the urgency, and this will select the appropriate the priority from the table, and it will calculate the response date and resolution date, a resolution date from the creation date of the ticket. Also, a client role can be selected to make a modifier on the priority. So some role may increase or decrease the priority. So if that's required for you. So multiple customization is possible for your specific requirement. So this is an example for the basic, but C2 ITSM can handle exceptions and multiple scenarios following your needs. So once you have your ticket set with your priorities and some service level information, it makes it easy for the resources managing the tickets to follow up on those priorities. With color indicators, you clearly see if you are on time or at risk of going over your resolution and the response date. So the green, everything is right, and then yellow, orange, and red when you go over your date. There are clear indicators that tells you how much time you have remaining before you reach that particular date. So all dates are stored in the ticket and they are available for query. This allows you to create reports, alerts, and automatic events to ensure that you are respecting your service level agreements. So example of an event is to send an email to a team leader if a ticket is near or past a certain date, or to send a report to a manager listing all tickets that are of importance with dates, and or just to alert the resources that a particular ticket is at risk of going over, just to make sure that they are following up. Finally, you can create dashboards and reports depending on the needs you have. So here we have a simple example of pickup time and resolution time, but different dashboard layout are possible, and multiple way of reporting also possible with all the data that is stored in the tickets in C2 ITSM. So that was a small explanation of what C2 ITSM can do for SLAs. More is possible depending on your needs and your advancement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric, for your section and talking to us about the very complex world of SLAs. As you mentioned, this is an example, but we can always handle bigger, broader, stronger situations with the platform as well. But as always, our team of analysts is there to help you put that thing into place. Now we're going to move on to the self-service portal, talk about it a little bit from the perspective of your clients with our friend Martin. So Martin, take it away.
Hey, thank you, Maud. So hi, everyone. And I would like to say a big thanks to Rima and Eric for giving us an insight of what is service desk and SLAs into C2 ITSM, because basically they are the foundation of your self-service portal. So what is a self-service portal? It's quite simple. It's a reference point, a one-stop shop for any clients who's seeking for help and access information or track the status of their tickets. And why is that important? Because the portal acts as an extension of your service desk, enabling users to resolve simple issues on their own and easing the workload of the IT agents. It's an opportunity for the clients to obtain a certain level of autonomy. The key benefits of the self-service portals, it's increasing the user can resolve, it's increasing efficiency by enables the user to resolve issues and find information quickly without waiting for an agent, leading for a faster resolution problem. It reduces the workload for the IT staff by enabling simple tasks and queries. Self-service portal free up IT agents to focus on more complex issues. And we have a 24/7 availability that user can open ticket on the portal anytime, providing supports outside the regular business hours. And it proves user satisfaction because user appreciate the convenience and the speed of resolving their own issue independently. And the consistent information of the self-service portal ensure that users receive an accurate and consistent information, reducing the chance of miscommunications. Centralizing and effectively following up your request on the self-service portal can greatly enhance the efficiency and the user satisfaction, because they don't have to wait a phone call, or they are not into a waiting list for an agent to resolve the issue, or just having an information. And by centralizing and effectively managing a follow-up request, a self-service portal can become a powerful tool to enhance user satisfaction and operational efficiency. To add on that, like Eric and Rima mentioned before, you have the SLAs and the SLI and the SLO. So that means by centralizing all your requests and having an effective following a procedure to all your requests, you can enhance the user satisfaction. You can overcome some issues. You can overcome some trouble you can encounter with some users. So by centralizing, you gain really a lot with the self-service portal. Implementing a self-service portal can lead to significant cost reduction for an organization. And here are some key ways to achieve it: by reducing the volume of requests, lower the operational cost, improve the resource allocation, enhance the customer satisfaction, and being data-driven insight. So if you leverage these benefits, a self-service portal can significantly reduce cost while enhancing the overall experience of the users. If we continue on what would be the best practice, the better management of your request, it's quite simple. Okay, so having, for example, automatic assignment, intelligent prioritization of your request. Automatic assignment would be what Rima explained. When you have a ticket, you have an alert. So these tickets can be pre-configured to be assigned to a certain group or certain resources that have the knowledge to interact or pose action to resolve these issues. Intelligent prioritization, Eric explained what SLAs and priorities are. So basically, that's where you gain efficiency. Another key point of intelligence prioritization requests is not every request have the same level of urgency or impact on the organization. So with the SLAs, Situ allows you to set up prioritization system based on criteria, allowing the agent to handle most critical tickets first. Another practical example, if imagine you have multiple open tickets and one user have a minor issue with their workstation, while another reports a critical outage affecting their server's infrastructure. So in situ ITSM, you can manage these tickets automatically based on their priorities and impact SLAs, and ensuring that the critical incident received immediate attention. And through the self-service portal, you can have a kind of asset management integration. And finally, integrating these asset management into a ticket request is crucial. When a ticket is related to a particular asset, such as a server or an application, C2 ITSM allows you, not allows you, but more the agent to directly access the history of any information of that asset. This allowed the issue to be resolved faster and more efficiently, and the agent has a complete overview of the state of the infrastructure. Improving the knowledge base. That's something that's really important, because improving the knowledge management for a self-service portal offers several significant benefits, like enhanced user experience. They can retrieve the information they're seeking. They gain autonomy. You empower your end user. It reduces the support load. So instead of asking an agent how to share my mailbox, you can just redirect directly from the self-service portal the end user to seek any kind of knowledge base item concerning outlooks, how to share mailbox, how to share calendar. It's cost saving because you don't have to repeat the information every day on a daily basis. So you just redirect the client directly to the knowledge base. Once again, it's improving the knowledge sharing because you give the knowledge directly to the user, just like the SLA guides that Mode put on the toolbox, and that it's on our knowledge base publicly shared. So if you have any question, any concern about how to implement SLAs into your Studio ITSM, instead of opening tickets or referring to your analyst, you can first go on the guides, read, try to comprehend something, and then if you have question, you can ask the analyst or the support team to help you out. And it's time saving. Okay, time saving for the client, time saving for the agent. They spend less time on giving information and focus on more important issue. And finally, by enhancing knowledge management, a self-service portal become a powerful tool that not only improves user satisfaction, but also drives efficiency and cost saving for the organizations. Like the service desk, you can have some KPIs, which is key performance indicator. Eric made a really nice oversight of indicators and with the SLAs, but KPIs are essential for measuring the success and efficiency of the self-service portal. Some key benefits is improving user experience, increase efficiency, cost saving, enhance decision making, in user empowerment, and self-sufficiency. So all those key benefits have been mentioned before, either by Rima and Eric. But once again, as I mentioned at the beginning, the self-service portal is dependent from the SLAs and the service desk. By leveraging KPIs, organization can ensure their self-service portals are not only effective, but also continuously improving and meet the user needs. Training and empowering your team is crucial for the successful implementation and adoption of the self-service portal. It can be achieved by offering comprehensive training and a detailed training session, or provide continuous learning opportunities for as new features are added. Offering user-friendly resources like guides and tutorials through the knowledge base. Empowerment through autonomy by encouraging the use of the portal, by enlightening the benefits and such as the time saving. So basically encourage and develop a kind of reflex either for the resources, the agent, and the client to go into the portal. That's where you're going to get some benefits. Optimizing the service desk can significantly enhance efficiency and the user satisfaction. If you can, with the SLAs and the service desk, if you can understand the needs of the end user, you will increase their satisfaction. And here's some strategies to consider, like automatic categorization, efficient tracking, develop a comprehensive knowledge base, train the support staff to handle a wide range of issues effectively, regularly collect and analyze feedback from the users to identify areas of improvement. Here, SLAs and the service desk with surveys, this is where you're gonna gain these feedback. And with these feedback, you can have a continuous improvement. So by focusing on these strategies, you can optimize your service desk and provide faster, more efficient support and improve overall user satisfaction.
Thank you, Martin. I will go back on camera and maybe call upon my team to come and I'm sorry, join me as well, because we are now at the question section. I looked into the Q&A section. We don't have a lot right now. However, I do have a question for you that came from another channel. So we did mention a lot of best practices, and from SLA to the user portal to the service request management, we did talk about the fact that it's always a continuous improvement and you're better to kind of revisit those processes. In terms of service desk that is tied to a service request catalog, how often would you say that you need to revisit that catalog to make sure that kind of the portal is structured properly? I'm not sure who wants to answer. I will let you guys kind of raise your hand. Thanks, Martin.
Okay, so revisit the service catalog. I would say that at the first implementation, I would be more like maybe wait a year, 12 months, 18 months, just to make sure that we have enough data to provide good analysis. And after that, once you made your improvement, you changed your requests, you improve your process, your workflows and everything, it would be strictly on the next SLAs analysis with the SLIs and SLOs to see, okay, how do we perform? Do we have issues by answering ticket? Do we have latency? What's happening on certain fields, on certain department, and then probably act on that.
Awesome. Thanks, Martin. I can see that, Eric, you have your raised hand, so I'll let you interject.
Yeah, just to add a little bit more on what Martin said. Yes, you revise your catalog when you first set it up, you revise it regularly afterwards. After years or before, depending on your organization, you have to keep in mind that you will never meet 100% of all the needs. It's always like something like 90%, and the rest are exceptions that are all different. and but you have to go get your user's perspective on that catalog and make the changes required to the catalog. They can be minor change. They can be a section that will be revisited completely because the tickets are not used, or they use one ticket for something else. And so that's the idea. And after that, once a year, maybe a good idea to take a look, ask questions, maybe go and focus on one department, let's say, or one group of clients, make it easier to revisit the catalog.
Awesome. Rima, you have something to add?
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little something. So that's where dashboards and reporting tools can be really helpful. Okay, so we can set up monthly dashboards, we can set up like annual reports, and we can see through these reports if we need to modify our SLAs, for example. If we need to modify our service catalog, we can see that, oh, I can see that this request is never used. So what's the problem with this request? Maybe it's not clear enough for the users. Maybe I need to add something. Maybe I need to, yeah. And that can be really helpful.
To kind of try to go a little bit over what every one of you say. My question originally was about how often you should revisit the service catalog that is tied to your service desk. Martin, you did mention that usually there's a first launch out of that, and then usually you thought about it before it is launched, so you can give it some time and really wait. I heard both you and Eric mention like kind of the year mark to give it time. What Eric mentioned about talking to the clients is something that will greatly give you insight into how they use it. Being a user experience person myself, sometimes you get to see little behaviors that you didn't expect. For example, people don't find the right category, so they just go into a different ticket and just put all their requests into a ticket that's not really supposed to be there. Then you have kind of a red flag about your service desk. And I like what you added, Rima, about just using the report and the data where you're more self-serving, in the sense that you don't have to go through the user, but you really look at the data of what is used, what is not used, and then you kind of tie all those elements together, the user and the backend data, to improve your service desk as your business and your needs grow too. But I assume that there's always a reevaluation of, did we put the right thing into the service catalog in the beginning? Am I wrong to assume that sometimes the pre-launch and the post-launch can be very different in terms of how people use those? Of course, we can go a whole webinar probably on service requests catalog. If you apologies, if you're bilingual, we do have a webinar on that in French. In English, just like stay tuned, it might be coming. And as I look in the chat, I don't really notice any other questions. If something popped into your head during this webinar, we covered a lot around the service desk, everything that kind of gravitates around it. So feel free to just reach out. Our business analyst team is always there. You have 3 of them today, but we have more behind the scenes that are here to help you and serve you. So this is a little bit our call to assume that we don't have any more questions today. I want to thank my team members so much, those you see and those you don't, because behind the scene we have a whole team behind these initiatives. So thank you to our speakers, thank you to our guests, thank you for coming, and see you again next time, hopefully.
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Have a nice day.